over as, and I am your host, Knuckle Brew the Hoss, and we're gonna be talking about WWE Raw from San Antonio this evening. And the biggest thing from this show is we finally got it, everybody. We got Oba versus Brock. And the biggest way that we saw this was Brock being called out with Paul Heyman. We had Seth Rollins to open the show. Him and his masked men again. Booga, 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 booga. Yeah, the masked men. I thought we had jumped the shark with this already, but yes, more masked men. Seth Rollins came in. He said he was going to end the division. He says he started the division and he'll kill the division. And he says anyone that was going to be associated with Paul Heyman was marked for death. So, yes, after this, we get Paul Heyman coming out looking like a standard cripple almost, eye black, beat up, disheveled. Yeah, he sold this very tough. So he comes out, he just starts yelling F-A-F-O, F-A-F-O. The next thing you know, we get the Beast Incarnate comes out. He comes out doing his little skip and whatnot, Well, I can't call it a skip. This man's a dangerous man. So he come in doing his little shoulder movements and everything. So, yes, he comes out. The masked men are out there like something off Power Rangers again. They're just getting decimated by Brock. And then next thing you know, Brock is in the ring staring down Seth Rollins. And then Oba's music hits. And then we get Oba coming down. And we get a stare down with Seth in the ring. The next thing you know, Brock is like charging at Oba. Oba gets him in the powerbomb position, and we get the fall from grace. And that sets up Lesnar versus Femi at WrestleMania. So after all the reports that we heard that Brock didn't want to lose at WrestleMania, that he didn't want to lose till his retirement, look like that's all out the window. They must have offered him some more money, just more vacation time, what have you. But we got Oba versus Brock at WrestleMania. This was the biggest news coming out of the show. In the main event, we had Roman and Punk give us another segment at the end of the show. So we got strength at the beginning of the show. We got strength at the end of the show. The meat and potatoes in the middle of this sandwich, just at best. We got an AJ Lee title defense. I'm going to tell you, the host does not care about it at all. Not big on AJ Lee. She bores me to tears. Her wrestling is not great. She's unbelievable as a character. This woman is all of 5 feet, maybe 80 pounds. And you got me believing that she's going to go take down a thoroughbred like Bayley. Seriously? I don't care how much Bayley's been jobbing lately. I cannot believe that AJ Lee is going up here being a technician in the ring, giving me all these submission holds and pin and roll-up pins. I mean, boring graps. I was actually waiting for the commercials to come in this match because AJ Lee is that damn boring. Like, everybody talks about her promo skills. The promos are average, and the in-ring is boo-boo. I don't care nothing about it. I honestly, I wish they would find another big woman to come and squash her at WrestleMania so we can go ahead and get this out the way. I'm sick of these nostalgia pops, and then you give me the nostalgia act that doesn't even look like a believable wrestler. I could care less about it. I promise I could. I could care less. So yes, we had AJ Lee retaining this evening. We had OG Americano versus El Grande Americano. Yes, we got the masked men going at it again. Not the same masked men from the first segment, but we got fake masked luchadors going at it for the same identity. And they've been going at it for weeks, and we're going to keep going in the same vortex again. So we had that rematch. We had another rematch with Maxine and Natty, which serves no purpose. No purpose. They're not pushing Maxine anywhere anymore. And do they really want to push Natty by beating Maxine? This feud goes nowhere. So when I talk about we had the the big slices of bread. We had the opening segment in our main event. The stuff in between, we only had one good match in this whole show, and that was Penta defending his title against Dragon Lee. And we want to know, how do we get to Dragon Lee? We get to Dragon Lee in like an open challenge scenario. Like Penta just not going out there for an open challenge like Melo Hayes on Fridays, but they did not let us know who he was battling the whole night. So he just walks out there, he cuts the promo, he gives us another. All he can do is cut impassioned promos. Half of it's in Spanish, so if you don't speak Spanish, you don't know what the hell he's saying. But the first half he says in English, he just comes out there just boisterous and loud and powerful. We're like, okay, we can take a fighting champion moving like that. But then we get Dragon Lee comes out. So, and we all know Dragon Lee is a hell of a competitor, good wrestler, but it's not going to go anywhere. So I believe that they're going to end up giving Penta just random wrestlers till we get to WrestleMania. Then we get a multi-man match. So no story for Penta going into WrestleMania. Just going to have a belt and just defend it. I'm over it. I'm just over it. Like, because honestly, you want to sell me on matches like this, and I just got through watching a great show from another company yesterday, but you want to sell me random matches on Raw? It don't work. It don't work. Like, your styles do not work like that. You're trying to sell me cinematic styles, but there's no cinema with the wrestling. So the wrestling's going to fall flat. But Penta and Dragon Lee did great tonight. Great job. Great job. Just great for them. But the rest of these matches, boring. I mean, absolutely boring. So this is another mid-episode of Raw. It was saved by the end because Roman came in there and he basically called Punk an old tryhard. That's ugly. You don't look like me. You can't do nothing like me in this ring. I mean, Roman just giving it to Punk in this ring, just decimating this man's outlook on life. His whole ego and demeanor. Punk lost all composure when Roman called him an old tryhard and knocked him to the ground. And that's pretty much your segment, because Punk came out there talking about the same mind games that he's been trying to play the last few weeks, which they really fall on deaf ears, because if you sit up here and just look at the tail of the tape, Punk does not compare. So you can say all these things, say you're the best in the world and all this talk. Roman broke that stuff down to brass tacks. You don't look better than me. You're not bigger than me. You can't do the moves like me in here. You are just an old tryhard. I mean, hit him where it hurts. I mean, Punk damn near 50. It's a fact. He got fake hair. It's a fact. Like, man, you can't move like Roman. And Roman had cancer. You still can't move like him. That's a damn shame. And that's our world heavyweight champion. I'm glad Roman broke it down like that, because it's just disrespectful how wrestling fans don't think that wrestlers age. Got these old ass men out here holding these belts hostage, and they think all wrestling fans are supposed to respect that. No. Champions supposed to look a certain way. They're supposed to sound a certain way. They're supposed to carry themselves a certain way. And Punk's a good wrestler. I'm not going to dispute that. But does he look like the world heavyweight champion of a brand? No. And Roman broke that shit down. And it was a fact. So shout out to him for letting the whole WWE universe know that tonight. So yes, we got Brock getting demolished in the first half. And in the second half, we had Roman demolishing Punk into this Raw. Again, another mid-Raw. And I forgot to say, we got Stephanie Vicaire and Raquel Rodriguez for, I said the umpteenth time, I can't give you a number. They've been going at it for months. The same thing with the Vision and the Usos in LA Knight. We've been having the same remixes every week in just different orders with the same wrestlers. And you would think there's only 20 people wrestling in this company. It's so many people in this company, and people can't get on TV. They can't get on TV because we got the same people participating every week on Raw. Same thing's on SmackDown too, but at least they got new faces. We got the same people here on Raw every week. It's the same exact people, and it's just deflating. It's deflating because we're going to WrestleMania. There's no way all these same people are going to be on WrestleMania tape. I mean, on the card. It's no way. And if they are, that's a boring card because you've been seeing the same matches over and over again. It's like they're sitting up here and they're training us for this stuff every week, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And you're gonna have some people get up here and tell you this stuff was lifeless, and you're gonna have some people tell you it was great. And I'm confused because it's in between. It's not absolutely terrible, and it's nowhere near good. It's nowhere near. So WWE has so much to do because they want us to be patient with these builds, but we have no faith in you. We have no patience in you because the builds have been tragic. Royal Rumble was weak, the Elimination Chamber is weak, and we're coming into the biggest part of the year. And I have zero confidence in creative. They got a shake up in the office right now, and I don't understand the direction where we're going. We got old people holding titles, and they're not drawing a dime. They'll tell you CM Punk is moving units, and he's not. The guy who he's going against moves the units. AJ Lee don't get no popping on it when she's wrestling. She got you get that little skip in between. Let's light it up. Let's light it up. Yeah, you get your nostalgia pop then. But when you get in that ring, there's no noise for her. Bayley had nothing. And Bayley's good. Her character just is gone dried up to all hell. It's withered up. Like, no one cares about the character. She can sit up there and rose plant you 100 damn times. You're gonna get no pop. They're like, we don't care about what you're doing. And that's what's going on Raw. And that's a shame. There's talent here. And then you got Lyra Valkyrie up here yelling to all ends in the backstage trying to hype up Bayley. I'm gonna get you to WrestleMania. And I'm just like, the veins are popping out of her neck, just loud as hell, big-headed. And I'm just like, man, they can't get her nothing to do because she has no character. No one cares for Bird Lady. And after AJ Lee submits Bayley with that weak submission to Black Widow, Becky came in to save the day. Shout out to Becky because Becky came and decimated AJ Lee. I was so happy to see that at the commercial break because I have nothing for AJ Lee. Nothing. She could have really stayed at home. What's the purpose? She's not giving you big pops like Brock Lesnar. She ain't. And people be like, why are you comparing the two? I'm just like, these are legends. I'd rather have Nikki Bella and Brie Bella than AJ Lee. At least they are bringing some type of sports entertainment to the table. AJ Lee has not entertained me yet. And I don't want to be this like I'm just sitting here just pounding on AJ Lee. I mean, she's boring. And her husband ain't much better. He's just a good talker. But his in-ring is boring. And he's actually been Wrestler of the Year. But that just shows you the bar is so low in this company that we're getting carried by CM Punk from week to week. Thank God Roman's here. Thank God. Like, in the words of New Day, thank God that Roman's here. Because this show needs that injection of life every week. And I need this to be the last week where we're only getting little physicality in the main event. They want to play these mind games with Punk and Roman. It don't work here. This is 2026. The attention spans of your average wrestling fan are this short. This short. We need juice. And I'm included with that. We need juice. You up here giving me these verbal sparring for 3 straight weeks? Like, no, man. Like, I need like how the Rockhead was up there just whooping the shit out of Cody Rhodes on their tour bus. I need stuff like that. And I know we're 3 weeks out. We need pure action now. You're trying to hype up this build. People are going to sleep on your build, WWE. Paul, wake up. We're drowsy on your build, Chief. Like, I thought you the king of kings. Kings don't put you to sleep like this. It's terrible. It's we need better because why is Raquel keep going at Stephanie Baker? I mean, I know she the enforcer for Liv Morgan. Why did EO even get in this match? Yeah, why did EO interfere? What was the point? When she came out there, she seemed confused. She like, why am I even here? That's how I felt like when her music hit. She barely even did this because she did not know she was going to be out there. They up there just playing back there at the gorilla position. They just playing around. They just throwing shit out there. And they just think we going to just like this shit. Man, they are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Because you got loyalists that go right up here on this internet and defend this slop. They defend it like they're on payroll. But no, we up here watching the opposition last night who put on a great show. And we come up here and we come to mediocrity on Monday. Just mediocrity. Complete mediocrity. Come on, man. It's WrestleMania season. I thank them for giving us Oba versus Brock, even though we know that match might not go over 10 minutes in WrestleMania, but I'm glad to see it. I'm happy to see it. So thank you for the fan service. It took you long enough. It took you long enough. And if you had to convince Brock about this, you really had to convince the man that you're paying checks to? Like, come on, man. Who runs the building? Who runs it? Is it in the old words, are the prisoners running the asylum? Is that what's going on? And people are like, oh, Hoss, what do you mean prisoners? Man, we're not going to the lawsuit with Brock Lesnar. I think the man's innocent to proven guilty. I believe in the court of law. So, yes, he's innocent in my eyes till I see different. So that has nothing to do with Brock Lesnar in the slightest. But who runs this place? Because there's no way that report was accurate. There's no way you're going to tell me that Brock Lesnar really runs this place. He doesn't run his booking. There's no way he does it. If that's the case, Roman should run his booking. Because Roman had no business losing like he did last year. No business. But anyway, that's my rant on that. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about it. Because other than Dragon Lee and Penta, the matches this week were forgettable. The segments, the promo segments, they did it. They did it. They did their job. So shout out to Oba and Brock for doing that great job. Shout out to Seth Rollins for getting Paul Heyman out there with a disheveled looking ass. And shout out to Roman for just undressing Punk like that on the stage. Because Punk kept saying, I'm in your head. Roman let you know, no, the tribal chief's in your head. Because guess what? I look better than you. I wrestle better than you. I talk better than you. And I'm younger than you. There's nothing that you do on this green earth better than me, Phil Brooks. That's basically what Joe Anoa'i told that man tonight. You do nothing better than me. Nothing. He even said, man, holler at the high-ride players. He said, ask your wife about it. He even told Punk, you're not even a prime-time player, partner. Your wife is. Roman was on a heater tonight. And that's what saved the show because I was up here fighting sleep watching Monday Night Raw. I was up here fighting sleep because, like I told you, this stuff wasn't great. I forgot that we had Danhausen. Danhausen coming in. He wants to join the New Day. The New Day wasn't having it. You had Kofi and Grayson Waller because Woods is still not back. So Danhausen said, I got 3 words for you. You are cashed. And Kofi pushes Grayson Waller in the way of the curse, like the curse is a Hadouken or a Kamehameha wave. He just throws him right there so he doesn't get cursed. It's Grayson Waller. So, yeah, that's where we're at tonight. Yes, we got Danhausen. So, Oba and Brock, Danhausen, and Roman and Punk. That is your formula for this show, ladies and gentlemen. Oba and Brock, and that's going to change next week. But we do have Brock next week. But these stuff is going to change. It seems like Danhausen is going to start taking away from Judgment Day segments. That's where Danhausen is going to do. So, yeah, we're going to have Monday Night Housing. That's where we're at. And you got me up here making these noises, and I'm not a fan of Danhausen in the slightest. I find it disgusting. It could be worse, but come on, man. This is who's going to start. He's going to start being the anchor of our show. Danhausen? Damn, WWE down bad, dog. We down bad. When you got to rely on Danhausen shooting out T-shirts to carry your show, whew. We got 2.5 hours of television, and you need Danhausen to give you a strong 15 minutes, and he ain't wrestling? A strong 15 minutes. I mean, just scattered around, but he got to give you a strong 15. We in a bad way, gentlemen. Bad way, ladies. We are in a bad way. But yeah, I'm going to leave you at that. This has been another episode of Over as Fuck. I thank you for being here. I am Knuckle Brew the Hoss, and I'm going to leave you with this. Even if you are down on your luck, ladies and gentlemen, that does not mean that you cannot be over as fuck. Have a good night, everybody.